From the grounds of Pitman Middle School, it's Thanksgiving crossover football between the Audubon Green Wave and the Pitman Panthers, two teams that played to just 2 points last year. 33-31 was the final, and now we've got Wednesday night football for the second straight year here from Pitman and Davis Field. I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Micah Frost on the call this evening. This is going to be a good game between two teams that really are scrapping it out for the last couple of weeks of the season. And one of the things that's going to be important for Audubon is getting the wins in the books. They're 2-6 this year. They had a little bit of a better campaign in 2024, but with Dan Reed as a head coach and Chris Thomas as the head coach with Pitman, it's going to be an interesting bout nonetheless. But for Pitman, all eyes are on the senior quarterback, Dane Collum.
Yeah, Pittman's looking really good this year. Excited to see how they finish out the season. Yeah, it's just really up to Audubon and both Pitman really to get their wins out. And yeah, it looks like a great night for football.
Yeah, that's the thing is that with Pitman this year, they've got a lot on the line. They've got game number 100 of the Pitman-Clayton rivalry coming up on Thursday, November 27th. We will be there for that. And for Audubon, they've got their Thanksgiving Eve matchup versus Haddon Township, which will be broadcasted by WIP in the 7th Annual Turkey Bowl. But one of the big things for Audubon is that their leading rusher, not their leading rushing scorer, but their leading rushing touchdown scorer with 6 scores on the year is Dylan Hoff. Now, that doesn't sound too crazy, but he started out this season as a 250-pound lineman. He is a lineman through and through. He was a running back in the youth days, but he comes back to Audubon in his senior year looking to capitalize, and he's already got 6 rushing TDs on the year. The leading rusher is the junior Micah Versa, and it's going to be interesting to see if Audubon can break through Pitman's defense in that way.
Yeah, well, transferring from a lineman to a running back is, I mean, I would personally say is a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, definitely have to cut a lot of weight down. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Well, both teams are at the center looking for that coin toss. Captains are out there with the referees. We'll take a quick break. We've got Audubon versus Pitman Thanksgiving tune-up football right after this. We're going to get ready to play some football on this Wednesday night. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Micah Frost. Ben Wilden on the production today. It's 1/3 Audubon, 2/3 Pitman. It's a lot of intertwining of our local interests here. Pitman coming into this game 4-4. What could be their last season in the Royal Division. They definitely didn't have the same regular season that they did in 2025, but they riffed off 4 straight wins in the middle of the season, beating Gloucester Catholic, Haddon Township, and Mastery Camden by plenty, and beating Lindenwold 27-22 in a game that, while it went under the radar, how about Charles Barber rather? He had a South Jersey record 293 receiving yards in that game, a game that Pitman won 27-22. They wrapped up their regular season with losses back-to-back, Maple Shade 32-9 and Gateway 28-16. Audubon coming in at 2-6 in what will be Dan Reed's 8th year as his head coach of the Audubon Green Wave. And what's going to be interesting today is to see if either team will have a proper advantage to go into their Thanksgiving matchups. A little squib kick by Theo Caladros is going to race towards the sideline, and it's out of bounds. Closest man to it was number 13, Eli Applegarth. And that I was going to say, they had the option to either re-kick or just take it from that spot, but they choose not to. And we'll get this one rolling here. Starting quarterback for Pitman, Dane Collum. He's gotten some interest in the Division III world as his senior back-to-back seasons with over 1,000 passing yards. He comes into this game with a very efficient 53% pass completion rate. He's got 14 TDs, 9 interceptions, and has been doing quite well under center for Pitman. He's got his receivers downfield that he can rely on, and Dane Collum's going to come into this game with 1,151 passing yards, 14 TDs, 9 interceptions in his career, 26 TDs for 15 picks. Rush taken down hard that time. The first rush goes to number 0, Jay Craig. Got swallowed up by number 24, Nolan Figueroa, the junior.
The thing that I like about Dane Collum, especially which contributes to his 1,000 passing yards, is that he's got a cannon of an arm.
Second down for Pitman.
Which 9 interceptions is not bad, especially, is that for this season?
That's for this season. He had 6 as a junior, 9 as a senior. And his best game so far this year was a 271 passing yard performance with 4 TDs versus Mastery Camden, a 51-18 win back in late September. Handoff out to the right side.
Number 5,
Aiden Upham. Looks like this is going to be a lost ball. Came out, and a flag comes down. 2 flags from 2 directions. Hold on here. They got to get everybody separated here. Looks like there was a little scramble after the fumble. The first rush was a loss by Jay Craig. Collins signaling to his sideline he thinks it's a face mask. See what the head ref has to say. Again, with this being a Wednesday night game, somewhat half capacity here in Pitman, might be able to hear the referee like we did at Paulsboro the other day.
Finally, his face mask against Audubon.
And it is an Audubon face mask. So the defensive face mask will make this a 5-yard penalty, and they'll reline this one up. But Pitman may need those breaks tonight to be successful. In last year's contest between these two teams, the final score was 33-31 Pitman. It was a very close game, don't get us wrong. I mean, Pitman had a fantastic regular season last year. 8-2 was their overall regular season record, including a rain-filled 7-0 win over Clayton in the 99th battle between those two teams. So after they finally get everything settled, they'll reline everybody up, and it will be the 15-yard penalty, bringing this one all the way up to the 48-yard line for Pitman. That game was incredibly back and forth. It was 21-17 Pitman at half, only 1 touchdown in the third quarter, and then the final score to win it with 2 minutes left with A.J. Salerno getting a short 3-yard pass from Dane Collum to win the game. So Pitman not only retains possession, but gets a 15-yard gain after the face mask. Got a single back. Craig was deep in the backfield. We've got whistles and offside against Audubon. That's back-to-back now against the Green Wave. And just a lot of mistakes being made by the Green Wave so far, without a doubt. So it'll now be 1st and 5.
For Pitman. Ball spotted at the Audubon 47-yard line.
Again, it's a little bit of a lower angle than we're used to. These Pitman bleachers don't go up all that high. And the press box being a little bit small, this is a intimate Group 1 environment. I formation for Collum. Hands it out to the right side for Upham. He's going to get a first down on 1st and 5 and then some. And he's going to go further all the way up to the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 7.
Tackle number 6, Braden Beebe.
Braden Beebe picked up the tackle that time, and it'll be a first down for the Panthers. One of the things we haven't seen so far, despite all the penalties in this first drive, have not seen any passing action from Dane Collum yet. Does have a handful of receivers he can hit downfield.
39-yard line.
So it's not entirely out of the question. Leading receiver is Aiden Upham, along with the leading rusher. He's got 454 rushing yards, 631 receiving yards, and only 6 players have recorded a reception for the Panthers this year. As here comes a handoff. Looked like Craig was on the carry. He's going to get swallowed up by the Audubon defensive line, led mostly by number 55 that time, Yvonne Merced. Jonah Jordan, who converted to a tight end during his senior season and is also a wrestling mainstay at Audubon, able to pick up the tackle that time. Again, Merced kind of led in there. But only 6 receivers have recorded receiving yards, and only 5 of them have recorded notable receiving yards. Blaine Ackerman with 131. Will Clark with 36, the senior wideout. Jay Craig with 279. Lincoln Eisenhart, the tight end, with 73. And then Aiden Upham, 37 receptions, 9 receiving scores. Collum is going to pass for the first time. It does go out to the left side. He's got some space. And he's going to get taken down, and a little bit of a shove after the play. A little bit of a back and forth that time, but it was caught by Aiden Upham. We just talked about how Upham, the leading rusher and receiver for this Pitman team, able to pick up a lot of yards that time.
He got a few extra yards out of looks Jay Craig's block.
Yeah, I noticed that block down there. That was a fantastic blocking move from Craig on Audubon's number 8, Aaron Pilla, the senior. So it goes both ways. You know, there was a lot of blocking on Pitman's side, and they were really able to use it to their advantage to get a couple extra yards. They now line up 1st and 10 from the 26. Again, we see this deep formation where it's tight all around the line, but then Upham, or rather Craig, will line up like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Here comes Collum. He's got room for days. Rolls it out to the right. It's caught by Upham. He'll stay on his feet and eventually goes down for about a gain of 3. Didn't really bargain more than what he got. I mean, it looked like he was just super open that time. Audubon definitely fell for the play action. And that was a slow-moving play action, too. I mean, Collum wasn't really in any hurry to hand it off to Craig, and then by the time he faked it, ended up working out for him. They got about 5 yards on the play, and they'll be just outside the red zone at the 22. Second and 5. Line to gain is at the 17. But Aiden Upham already with 2 receptions tonight. Already 4.5 minutes down in the first quarter. Collum, handoff, left side. It's Jay Craig. We got a flag in the backfield. Not a lot of room. Hello. Out on the near sideline. Pitman definitely wanted a flag there for that Audubon tackle. I mean, there's not a lot of runoff like there is at normal football fields, but if you're Audubon, you should know that there's not a lot of runoff on these fields, just like at their home field, Bendorf-Norducci Memorial. Holding on the Panthers. Again, I thought I saw something on the left side of the line that time. This game could really go down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. I mean, Pitman at 4-4, Audubon at 2-6. Pitman had a much better season last year than Audubon did, and it was only a 2-point game. So now that their records are only 2 wins separated from each other, we'll have to see. But mistakes will be made, and you could argue a lot of mistakes will be made. But the question will be whether or not one team will prevail over the other. Chris Thomas commanding his offense, the 2005 grad of West Virginia. Look at how far these guys are lining up. We've got 4 receivers on the left side Again, they're trying to, I guess, peruse Audubon into getting something else going on here. See if any of these guys move in. You can see where Column is lined up on the left side. You've got 4 receivers out. They let it run. Column is going to get some space through the middle by distracting Audubon's defense. He stays on his feet. He's wiped out at the 15-yard line. A gain of a lot for Dane Column as he goes out. Looked like near the 10-yard line. Might have been a gain of almost 20 there. An odd formation ends up working out dividends for Pitman. They'll be up at the 9 for first and goal.
Tackle number 1, Eric Young.
That's just a fantastic play right there by Dane Column. And it's a fantastic formation by Chris Thomas, sending 4 receivers out to the left and not intending with an ounce of intent to pass to any of them. Send 4 of Audubon's guys out there in preparation for a pass.
Those 4 guys drew away the middle option, which allowed Dane to obviously get a lot more yards than he would have if the formation was any different.
Was able to buy a lot that time. They were at the 22-yard line. He ended up at the 9.
Tackle number 10, William Britt.
William Britt picked up the tackle that time. It is not, so they didn't get as far as I thought they did. It's going to be 2nd and 5 from the, looks like the 9.
2nd down and 5 for Pitman. Ball spotted at the Audubon 9-yard line.
There are some Clayton folks checking into this game because this will be Pitman's last game before they play Clayton on November the 27th, which we will be there for. They send Craig in motion. Rather, the handoff is to Craig, and Audubon's going to pick up the stop. Tackle will be made by number 56, Rocco Kaufman.
Number 56, Rocco Kaufman.
And that's something that Pitman might have to rely on here, is if they can get a goal line pass off, because this goal line rush by Audubon seems to be working. They do have a kicker in Christian Camisioli, who is 16 for 22 in extra points this year, however, has not attempted a field goal. They don't have Hudson Rue anymore. They haven't for a little while now. It's 3rd and 7 from the 11-yard line. I formation. They fake the handoff. They pitch it to the left side. It's going to be Upham. Breaks through a tackle. He's down, and it's in for a touchdown, Pitman. Panthers on the board first. 9-yard rush by Aiden Upham on the fake. They pitched it out.
Once again, that's number 5, Aiden Upham on the touchdown run.
Upham picks up another rushing score.
Coming out to attempt the extra point for Pitman. Number 25, Christian Camisioli.
And Audubon really fell for that fake. And it looks like Aiden Upham got just a wide open look on the left side.
Great misdirection that time. We've got whistles on the PAT. That one got rebounded by the trees, and it will be a offside. So it'll be half the distance, but you can't really go much closer than this. For Upham, the rusher picks up his 5th rushing score of the year. He's had 14 all-purpose touchdowns this year, that being his 5th rushing score along with 9 receiving touchdowns. So even though he leads in rushing and receiving, he actually has more in the receiving department. Panthers go for the PAT. It's up away, and hopefully that's not headed for my car. It's good. A 9-yard rush by Aiden Upham gets the Panthers on the board halfway through the first quarter here in Pitman. It's the Panthers 7 and the Green Wave 0. We'll take a quick break. Pitman 7, Audubon 0. We're here from Davis Field. We are one with the crowd tonight on Wednesday night action on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Micah Frost on the call, Ben Wilden on the production. This will be sent away, a squib kick. This is going to bounce high on the dirt, but it will be returned by Audubon. Fighting his way through the defense and finding his way to be on his feet. He returns it all the way to midfield. That return by number 15, Jacoby Negron. Negron was able to get himself all the way up to the 48, but not sure if Pitman didn't execute it right or if they were just trying to get an onside recovery here early in the first.
Looked like a mistake. Looked like he got way too over top of the ball.
Yeah.
Causing a squib.
Just looking at the body language, when I saw Camisioli kick that, I was like, I don't think that he meant to do that. But we get to see Audubon for the first time tonight, and sophomore quarterback Jude Cotter. Came in for Noah Batillo in week 7 of the season. Trips right. They throw it to the right side for Michael Aversa on the near sideline. Takes himself out of bounds for a gain of 2. Another little rush there and a late flag. Not sure who this is going to be called on, but there was a little bit of extracurriculars there. You heard it. There was number 8, Aaron Pilla, who was in there. Pilla's now being separated. It's unsportsmanlike on Audubon. So that's going to hurt him.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Audubon.
Yeah, that's going to be a big hit against the green wave there. Referee's talking this one over. When it first came in, we didn't know who it was going to be called against, but this is what happened last year. If you rewind the tape of this game between these two last year, I mean, there was a whole suplex on the defensive line last year. There were several personal foul calls. So I'm not too surprised that the scrappiness of these two teams are coming head-to-head tonight, as this will be a 15-yard penalty against Audubon. Let's bring up that preview again for Jude Cotter. Like we said, he came in for starting quarterback Noah Batillo midway through the season. He had several reps during games throughout the season, but he's got a 37% pass completion rate, and he's had 3 starts under his belt. He's had weeks 7 and 8, and then the playoff game versus Glassboro, where he threw for over 150 yards in a shutout loss. And then this will be, again, Batillo being a junior, it is kind of a QB scramble at Audubon going into the 2026 season. Does Batillo start his senior year, or will we see Jude Cotter get a head start? Defensive line shifting. They move the tight end, Jonah Jordan, from right to left. Now they pass. It's off the hand of Jordan and incomplete. So Jonah Jordan, despite being a very versatile tight end, was unable to come up with that one. That pass a little high from Jude Cotter. And it'll be 3rd and very long, specifically 3rd and 23 with a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty.
34-yard line.
Third and long. Panthers up by 1 score already. Audubon's 2 wins were, funny enough, they actually do have a common opponent in Gloucester Catholic, the winless Gloucester Catholic at 0-9. Audubon beat them 58-0. Audubon, probably their biggest win of the year, was a senior night upset over Collingswood, 31-14. That pass is caught. Getting a fade over the middle. Now he's got some room. Heading to the right sideline. Look out below. Dirt kicking up everywhere. And the reception made by number 2, Michael DeLuca, the freshman. That is going to be well outside of the marks of a first down, though. And they'll send out the punt crew. Punt will be attempted by number 22, Theo Caladros. Upham, in typical Group 1 fashion, has to do it all. He rushes, he receives, and now he has to do punt returns. And it'll be number 13, Eli Applegarth, back to return as well. So two returners here. Caladros does fade his punt sometimes, so we'll have to see. Aligns it, and a good punt by Theo Caladros. This is going to be on the ground, and Audubon picks it up, and this drive for Pitman will start at their own 27. Audubon probably would have had a better drive. I mean, this goes without saying, but they would have had a much better drive if they didn't have the unsportsmanlike conduct call. You know, that's just one thing that if you're Coach Dan Reed, you cannot let that get in your way. You cannot let the flares of this game end up costing you 15 yards. Because remember, this is a Wednesday night game. We're in the middle of November, and all the reason why these teams are playing is because they're tuning up for their own Thanksgiving games. So even though the turkey's cooking in the oven, something else is cooking on the sidelines here for both teams, with Audubon punting it away, going 3 and out thanks to an unsportsmanlike call. 4:14 left in the first quarter. They send Upham in motion. Here's Collum, handoff, hand to the face that time. Here goes Jay Craig. Getting a handful of yards there. Looked like a pickup of 5. Lehan had to tackle. Jonah Jordan talking to the referees here. Again, just feels like a lot of tension tonight. And we're only halfway through the first quarter. These are two good-spirited Group 1 schools, and something definitely in the air tonight. Pitman played 2 tune-up games for Thanksgiving last year. They split them. They lost 28-14 to Haddon Heights and beat Audubon 33-31. This is their only Thanksgiving tune-up of the year. Collum goes back to the line, commanding his 5 linemen. Jordan pointing over towards the right tackle. Got 1 receiver on each side here, 2 runners in the backfield. Pump fake on a play action, spinning around. Collum gets out of pressure. A leaping defender, now he's got to get forward. He does, and he dives forward at the 45.
That was just a great move to avoid all the defenders. A great opening out here near the sideline. Got past 2 defenders and gained a couple more yards.
And it gained them the first down as well. It's just great stuff here. I mean, it's Collum was able to go out to the left side and figure out any way that he could to get any yards. And you could see on the near side it was Aiden Lehan who kind of leaped forward to try to get him down, but then he was able to go through. I mean, he's a nimble quarterback, 6 foot, 160. He's a skinny quarterback, and he's able to really make it work. Jay Craig sends a man down. That will be another gain of a couple of yards here. And you can see some taps to the helmet, some handshakes. Things are settling a little bit. You can see there going in, number 54, Dylan Hoff. Again, when I did my prep for the game and I saw that Dylan Hoff had 6 rushing touchdowns, really couldn't believe it.
If I'm not mistaken, number 8 is Aaron Pilla.
Yeah, Pilla the senior.
That was Jay Craig. They used to go to the same school with each other. Last year, Jay Craig was at GCC at Gloucester County Christian School. I think Aaron Pilla is still there now, just playing. Obviously lives in the Audubon area.
I remember Pilla being in the hallways when I was in high school. So maybe it's his brother or something.
Maybe.
I was gonna say this one's up towards the middle and it's picked off. Aiden Upham.
It's a great look up the middle.
Made him a player to watch. He's already making himself a solid case for player of the game honors, although we still have 3 quarters to play. Picks off, or excuse me, gets himself in there. I don't know what I was thinking. First down, Pitman. They're able to move this one over, but Aiden Upham with another reception. Sometimes you have a long day, and sometimes you don't have your best with you. But either way, though, we talk about Pitman's offense and what they've been able to accomplish. Collum, a very mobile quarterback. Upham, a very mobile receiver. I mean, Aiden Upham, really impressed by what he's been able to do. Been able to do it all tonight. Still got 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Pitman up by a score. From under center. Oh, ball comes out. Who's got it? After the scramble, Audubon says they have it, but we'll have to see. It looked like Craig might. Audubon ball. I thought Craig might have fallen on top of it. But the defense will take over, and as much as I had praised Pitman's offense, it all comes to a head, and it'll be a turnover on a fumble recovery. Couldn't tell who came up with that one. Doesn't matter, at least not in the eyes of the viewer. Audubon takes over from their own 36. That's just a simple bobble right there. You can't get much easier than that. Obviously, in that situation, I mean, Audubon had a good read on it. Craig was the runner. He just kind of fumbled the ball in front of him. Here comes the rush. Very close to a face mask there, but they were able to take him down legally. Gets about 8 yards on the rush by Aversa. Just joining us, a minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Pitman scored first on a 9-yard rushing score. by Aiden Upham, his 5th of the year. And Audubon now with possession, and you can see them kind of mirroring that same formation as what Pitman had, a really deep runner in the backfield. Flag, Aversa gets sent to the ground. A pile of everyone everywhere, and we've got a Pitman player down.
And number 13, Eli Applegarth.
So as Pitman attends to the player, let's see, there's 2 things going on here. Referees are confirming the flag, but now the Pitman athletic trainers attending to, it's going to be a penalty against Audubon. Not surprised. Hold right there, and penalties are probably going to be a pretty stinging remnant for Audubon today. That player who was hurt was Sam Adams. Walks off the field under his own power, albeit gingerly. So this will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Audubon didn't get all that far, so it should bring them back to 2nd and maybe 10 or 12. And the penalty was accepted, so that'll set us up.
Down and 12 for Audubon, ball spotted at the room.
So they're back at their own 35, which is going to set us up for 2nd and 12. Got to imagine Cotter wants to go in the air to find somebody, whether it's Jonah Jordan. I wouldn't be surprised if they try a tight end screen or something of the sort. With the whistles blowing, some quick adjustments. But now the referee's talking things over. I guess just trying to make sure everybody's lined up. Audubon makes a substitution. In the meantime, under a minute to play in the first quarter. Second and 12. Audubon still looking over at the sideline to try to figure things out. Audubon shifting around their receivers, going back to a trips left. We saw these trips formations a lot in their loss to Bordentown. Cotter fakes, takes it himself, and he's free. Not for long, ball comes out, and Pitman's gonna fall on it. Clear as day, back-to-back fumble recoveries. It hasn't even rained, and it's a slippery day, but we do have a penalty flag down. Couldn't tell who fell on it. Blocking the back on offense, so the fumble will stand. The penalties declined. Looked like the fumble was recovered by Eli Applegarth, and now it's back-to-back turnovers. Panthers have the ball, and this is a game that really could be riddled with a lot of mistakes if teams don't play their cards right. But man, back-to-back fumbles in the first quarter. Again, just looking at this replay here, presented by Harper Driving School. I mean, again, the trips left formation is something that I've liked out of Audubon's offense with Dan Reed. He doesn't really run that expansive of a playbook, but you can see there, rolling out, and it's the same way that Jay Craig lost his. Found a little bit of pressure and just lost it from behind, and now is able to get out of that one. Back-to-back turnovers. Craig using the hands, spinning around. Looked like a horse collar. Now he gets sent down. Stays in bounds at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Tackle looked like it was finished off by Aaron Pilla. And then looks like it was additionally finished off by Braden Beebe. But again, when you're in a Group 1 situation, you look at how many players are on the Pitman sideline. I'm looking at their roster. They probably only have about 25 to 30 players dressed. You can see Craig is on the sideline. He was being attended to by one of the assistant coaches. Again, led by Chris Thomas. And that will send us to the end of the first quarter. Back-to-back turnovers is the story of the day, but Pitman got the first score on a 7-yard rush by Aiden Upham. At the end of the first, it's Audubon 0, Pitman 7. We'll take a quick break. Pitman 7, Audubon 0 here from Davis Field. Tune in tomorrow night for JUCO women's basketball, not far down the road in Deptford Township. It's the Northampton Spartans and the RCSJ Gloucester Roadrunners, 5 o'clock tip-off for the women's game. Again, that is a women's standalone game from Sewell, as now here's Upham. Second and short, got a gain of 9 on the first play, and now gets a handful more on play number 2 of the drive to start the second quarter. That makes it 1st and 10. They're going to line this up from the 45. And then on Friday night, we've got WJYFL Youth Football, the 14U Turkey Bowl between the Haddon Township Hawks and the Eastern Vikings from Voorhees. 7 o'clock kickoff. And Saturday, we've got, for our Audubon friends, we just locked this up a couple of minutes ago. We've got girls soccer sectional finals versus Audubon and the winner of Haddon Township versus Woodstown. Here is Collum. Hit as he throws. Deep and incomplete. Referee hanging on to the flag. He's not going to throw it.
Number 1, Dane Collins pass.
Pass looked like it was intended for Upham. And there's a little bit of an uproar for the fact that there was no roughing the passer called. That's borderline, though. I think that if he gets hit maybe a half second later, it's called. I mean, the referee was staring right at it. But, again, I think that falls oh so barely under the umbrella of getting hit as you throw.
Ball spotted at the Audubon 43-yard line.
I mean, 20 years ago that wouldn't have been a penalty, but I don't know. 2nd and 10, a deep incompletion by Collum. And we set up back in the I form now for Pitman. Handoff, and Audubon defense read that like a book. Jonah Jordan and Nolan Figueroa come in hard to stop that one. And it'll be 3rd and long. And that's one break that Audubon might need. I mean, they've got a strong defense. They've got a strong, big defensive line. If that can hold up, they can definitely stunt Pittman's offensive growth. 3rd and about 14, 15.
3rd down and 14 for Pitman.
Line to gain is at the 32. Line of scrimmage is at the 46. In enemy territory. Collins standing tall in the shotgun. He drops back. Jordan's going to give him trouble. He's at his feet. Dirt kicks up, and he's taken down on the 3rd attempt. And a flag.
Number 1, Dane Collum on the carry.
See what we got here. Collum got taken down hard.
Number 5, Ada Leon.
Eric Young. Eric Young and Jonah Jordan came in. That flag came in as Collum was getting taken down. Feels like Salem Glassboro all over again. We're going to see flag after flag after flag. They will wave off the flag. I think that's the right call. I don't think I saw anything egregious. The only thing I could have seen was, again, maybe like a hold, but got a here we go from the stands. I don't know if Dak Prescott's in attendance tonight. It's going to be 3rd and very long, and now whistles fly. Audubon calls a timeout. Not sure what was going on there. I thought it was pretty obvious Pitman was going to go into the punt formation, but Audubon started to read their regular defense. So they call time, and we'll stay on the air for Audubon's first timeout of the day, as it'll be Audubon 0, Pitman 7, just a minute and a half into quarter number 2. Here from Davis Field, this broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at, well, actually, hold on here. I can't get the video to work right. We'll fix that a little bit later, but we'll go over the rest of this week. For Saturday, as we said, I have to check that Woodstown game to see who won that one. Audubon, as the 5 seed in girls soccer, beat Shalleck in PKs 3-2. And again, we're going to try to figure out. Don't have any info, though. 4th and very long. This will be a punt. It'll be taken by number 1, Dane Collum. Or no, that's going to be Craig to punt. Coming into return. Audubon not going to get too hot on this one. Pilla's going to get down at the 20. So 10:18 left in the second quarter.
Tackle by number 11, Will Clark.
Will Clark picked up the tackle that time. And Audubon will start their third drive of the night from their own 20.
First and 10, Audubon.
Of course, Audubon and Pitman, no strangers to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. For those not familiar, I went to Audubon, class of 2024. It's been living in Pitman, though, for my college for about a year and a half. So these are two communities we hold dear as this one is passed. Caught. Pilla going to try to break through as best he can. He gets about 8 or 9 yards that time. A solid pickup there on what looked like just a standard curl route. Pilla went in towards the center and really didn't have to do too much to break through the Pitman defense, and he gets a gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
Tackle number 13, Eli Applegar.
Not too much first down passing we've seen tonight, but
Second down and 2 for Audubon.
Cotter obviously found his man downfield, not even that deep downfield. As we said, Audubon 2-6. They started out 0-4. We covered them in week 2 of the season in a 34-14 loss to Bordentown. And their 2 wins were smack dab in the middle, 58-zip over Gloucester Catholic, 31-12 over Collingswood. Here comes Aversa. He is a versatile, and he gets his way all the way up to the 49 for a gain of 21. First down, Audubon. Audubon finally finding the vulnerabilities in the Pitman defense. There aren't that many. These two teams, again, they are small rosters. And with the divisional alignments coming next year, I mean, Audubon's having a down year. Pitman had an up year last year. Almost movement there. Close call. But Craig did not cross the line of scrimmage. I'm sure Audubon would like him to jump offside, though. Had 2 turnovers in this game, back-to-back fumble recoveries that ended the first quarter. One by Audubon that was recovered by Pitman, and then the other on the other way. This one is deep, caught over the middle, and it's brought down inside the red zone. A 30-yard pass on a deep slant over the middle. Looks like to Braden Beebe.
Number 4, Jude Cotter's pass. Complete to number 8.
That is Pilla. Pilla brought that one down. The 8 looked like a 0 for a second, but it was Aaron Pilla, the senior, who brought it down. It's a gain of 31. And Audubon, you blink and you miss it, they're in the red zone. First and 10, Cotter, handoff. He'll be taken down by number 54, Dante Ianella. That'll be second down there.
Number 54, Dante Ianella.
If you're Audubon, the last thing you want is to run out of gas. I mean, you just had positive play after positive play. You've had everything right going for you in this drive, even after a relatively ruthless first quarter where we saw a lot of pushing and shoving and a lot of unsportsmanlike calls, a lot of penalty flags, and we've seen a handful of that in this second quarter as well. But if you're Audubon, you do not want to stall out here, and you're only 16, 15 yards away from tying this game up. Audubon lining 2 receivers up on the far right. They send Pilla in motion. They hand it off on a jet sweep. Left side, he gets his way up to the 10-yard line, a gain of 5. Able to stay in bounds that time. But really a good drive here from Audubon.
Number 2, Mike DeLuca on the carry.
Excuse me, it looked like Mike DeLuca, the freshman.
Tackle number 65, Ethan Kuban.
These two teams are going to have a handful of freshmen on them, that's for sure. And Audubon already using their freshmen as some impact players. We mentioned Michael DeLuca, the freshman. There's also Braden Hagan and Rocco Kaufman that have made impacts. And Brandon Weeks on the defense. Cotter pass, right side. He will throw on the run into the corner. And it's a touchdown, Audubon. Couldn't tell by where we were in our angle, but a receiver comes down with it for a 13-yard touchdown pass for Cotter. And Audubon puts up 6.
Once again, that's number 4, Jude Cotter's pass. Complete to number 8, Aaron Pilla.
Pilla did pick up that touchdown reception that time. That is his 2nd touchdown of the year for Cotter. That's his 3rd passing touchdown of the season and of his high school career. Theo Caladros will go for the PAT. Can't tell who that holder is. It's up, away, and into the parking lot. It is good. Audubon and Pitman tied up at 7 apiece. Here midway through quarter number 2, we'll take a quick break. Here's the 13-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Pilla. Just looking at it again, I mean, seeing if I can get a better angle of this now that I'm looking at it on the replay. You can see Cotter rolls out to the right, and there is Pilla. He was deep downfield. He was open. That's just a great touchdown there. That's a great execution, and we're tied, 7-7. Caladros had the kick, faded it out to the right side, and the tackle is made at around the 30-yard line.
Number 28, John.
If you're just joining us, we're at Pitman. We're at Pitman Middle. No, not Pitman Middle School. This is the elementary school. It used to be the middle school, if I recall correctly, and then they switched it to the elementary school because Pitman is now a junior-senior high. But either way, we're at Davis Field, the historic Davis Field. Just about. I mean, listen, if I only have to travel 3 minutes for a game, I'm fine with that. If it was at Audubon, I would have had to travel 3-4 minutes. So, again, these are two of the teams that have been covered the most on DWB. Might have to do a trivia quiz. Who are the top 10 teams ever recorded on DWB? 1 and 2 are pretty easy answers. Here comes the rush up the middle. Jay Craig finds some space. He's got a 10-yard gain. Maybe an 11-yard gain. He's up to the 40. That'll be a first down, Pitman. Just a great way to move the sticks on the first play of the possession, really setting the standard, setting the tone. 11-yard rush by Craig. Obviously, Pitman not thrilled about the touchdown there by Cotter. They're probably not thrilled about a million other things right now, but able to bring that one down for an 11-yard gain. Craig coming back in, the receiver moving to the near sideline. John Wisniewski, the sophomore. Left side, Upham is going to get tackled for a loss by Figueroa.
Tackle number 24, Nolan Figueroa.
Loss of 5. Figueroa, the junior, doesn't look like that menacing of a figure when you just look at him, but he's somebody that will record a lot of tackles in continuity with Jonah Jordan and the rest of the defensive pieces. Eric Young lining up as, looks like an outside linebacker this time. 2nd and 14, they're from the 36. 6 minutes and counting in the first half. Collum drops back. Line collapses. Pass is caught by Jay Craig. He's got to buy his time. Gets a block. He'll get a first down and gets taken out of bounds at the 49.
Number 1, Dane Collins pass, complete to number 0, Jay
So
Craig.
Craig is going to get 13 out of the 14 yards that he needs.
24, Nolan Figueroa.
Figueroa picked up the tackle, but also getting a late shove with William Britt, the senior. Again, being an Audubon grad and then having a Pitman guy to my left, a Pitman guy to my right, you know, it's good. It's a good flow tonight here at Davis Field. 53 degrees. I thought it would be a little bit chillier than it is, but
thank goodness it wasn't last night.
Oh. Well, last year we were here and it was something like 35, 40 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the same time.
Wow.
2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Craig had a gain of 12. It's 3rd and 2. Collum dumps off a pass to Upham. He's got a first down. Aversis chasing him, and he's got a tackle. That's a gain of 7 or 8 yards that time for the Panthers. And again, we talked about in the open, this game could come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. And right now, it seems like each team is just getting their offensive bygones out of the way. Audubon's getting a good drive, Pitman's getting a good drive, and that's exactly how it was last year. 33-31 was the final, and there was just back and forth scoring all throughout the night in what was a high-scoring 64-point game. Column looks over to the opposite sideline, make sure everybody's in their correct positions. One receiver on each side, deep I form for Column. And for Chris Thomas, the head coach. Craig, left side, gets ahead of the line of scrimmage. He'll get only about 3 or 4 yards before he is tackled on the outskirts of the Audubon sideline at the 42. Pitman headed by head coach Chris Thomas, assisted by Guy Davidson, Mike Plegdia, I can't say that last name, I'm sorry, Dan Powell, Jim Rizzolo, Jeff Smith, and John Weisburn, and managed by Aiden Curl, Claire Miller, Colette Rollins, Reese Williams, and Molly Wisniewski. Whistles. Thought somebody called a timeout, but alas, they did not. 4:33 left in the half. Stay tuned for the Dan Wilkins Broadcasting halftime program, The Archive Show, where we show you the best of the best from DWB's 4 years covering South Jersey athletics, from walk-off hits to game-winning shots and much more. At the halftime break, keep you occupied while I go over, sneak into the corner. 4:53. They're going to add 20 seconds back on the clock. I don't know if that was a clerical error or what, but referee looked up at the scoreboard and immediately blew the whistle. So you get to enjoy the Archive Show while I sneak out into the corner and grab a slice of pizza and a hot dog.
Second down and 7.
So we're now back to 4:53 in the half, and the clock will now run again. Craig looking over to the sideline. There was a gain of 3 on the last play on a rush by Upham. Second down, a very tight formation here. They hand it off. It's Upham behind the line of scrimmage. He's got a whole bunch of guys next to him. He gets taken down on a nice little slide tackle there. Eric Young coming in. Good job by somebody over there to defuse the situation. You could see Eric Young was kind of lighten them up a little bit, but that's going to be a big stop for Audubon. Audubon's run defense is pretty good. It's the pass defense where they run into trouble. We saw them earlier this year, again, as we said, versus Bordentown. And you know what we saw was that with Audubon's pass defense, they did shockingly well against the run, but when Bordentown's QB put it in the air, it definitely ruffled some feathers. From the shotgun, Column rolls through. He will dive. It won't be a sack. It's going to be a gain of like a half yard. He salvaged the best that he could, but now it's going to be 4th and long. Timeout called by Audubon. They use their second of the half with 3:40 remaining. We'll take a quick break. It's Audubon 7, Pitman 7, right after this. Do anything until the second half. Timeout called by Audubon. They have 1 remaining. Pitman will punt. 3:40 remaining in the half. Craig taking his time. That's Craig's second punt of the day. Look at the backspin on that. Audubon was ready to field it, though. Moving to the right side. And he gets taken down. Looks like Samuel Adams was on the tackle that time, and that will bring Pitman's drive to a start at the 29. 3:28 left in the half. As we mentioned, for the rest of this week, we've got women's basketball tomorrow night between Northampton and RCSJ Gloucester. It's a standalone women's game for a 5 o'clock tip-off. And then on Friday, we're back in action in Voorhees for youth football. It's the Haddon Township Hawks and the Eastern Vikings for 14U youth football. 7 p.m. kickoff from Voorhees. A wide trips left formation for Audubon. Cotter, right side. It's caught on a simple flat. Gets about 3 yards that time. Couldn't tell who came up with that one. Folks in the press box probably have a better angle than I do.
Number 4, Jude Cotter's pass, complete to number 3, Mike
Aversa, the junior, was the one who made the catch there.
Paul Eller.
But again, knowing both of these schools and knowing both of the fact that these are very small Group 1 schools, like I said, I graduated from Audubon. My graduating class was 124. I'm pretty sure there was a Pitman graduating class one year that was under 100. Very small schools. A lot of these players are going to be multi-sport athletes. Dropping back. Cotter, throw is a little high, but it's brought down by Pilla. He's got a first down. He's got a little more. Using the whole field to his advantage. He's got room. Right side to the 30, to the 20. He's taken out in the red zone. And a huge gain, flipping the field of nearly 50 yards for Aaron Pilla. It's a first down and then some for the Green Wave.
Number 4, Jude Cotter's pass.
Just a huge completion for Jude Cotter. Finally familiar with the air ball.
Tackle number 11, Will Clark.
Will Clark picked up the tackle. But it's 1st and 10. They're struggling to keep the chains moving so quickly. Audubon with a huge gain. And as we mentioned, Pitman looked like that they were going to be running away. I mean, they had a turnover. It looked like they were doing really well. And now Audubon putting them back in their corner again with 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Low snap. Cotter hands it off right side to DeLuca. First, they're at the 16-yard line, so the line to gain is at the 6.
Tackle number 0, Jake Craig.
Craig picked up the tackle. Second and 6. Audubon got a gain of 4 on the rush to the freshman DeLuca.
Second down and about 5 for Audubon. Ball spotted at the Pitman 11-yard line.
So Audubon occupying the Pitman red zone for the second straight drive. They scored from 13 on the last one. Now Cotter pump fakes. He's going to move to the right. Gets hit hard. And he'll get taken down just shy of the line of scrimmage. And a little bit of everything going on in that one.
Number 4, Jude Cotter on the carry.
Don't know what exactly happened there. They're whistling everybody.
Tackle number 52,
oh, there's a Pitman player down on the far sideline right around the line of scrimmage. That was a loss of 2. Cotter was unable to get ahead of the line of scrimmage. So athletic trainer Jennifer Smith will come over and attend to that player. We'll take a quick break. It's 1:44 left in the first half. Audubon and Pitman tied up at 7 apiece.
Third down and 8 for Audubon. Ball spotted.
So as we come back from this injury timeout, the player that was hurt looked like it was Aiden Upham. Unless that's number 6, I can't tell exactly. He's going to go.
Eisenhart.
It is Eisenhart, my apologies. Cotter barreling forward on 3rd and 8 from the 14. As we said, their first touchdown of the night came from 13 yards out on a pass to Pilla. This is now going to line up 4th and short. They're going to bring out the field goal unit here. Theo Caladros coming over. At least I think they were going to attempt a field goal. 4th and 7. Where's Theo Caladros in all of this? Okay, there. I don't know where they're going. Oh, here comes. So Cotter is here. Look at Dylan Hoff. He's a 250-pound lineman lined up in the backfield. And now Pitman calls a timeout. They were not expecting that. We mentioned in the open, Dylan Hoff, even though he is a lineman, has been used throughout the season as a running back and has 6 rushing touchdowns. Now, keep in mind, I used to cover youth football where Dylan played at Oak Lynn, and he was a running back there. He wasn't exactly like a what's it called? He was a good running back, but it's like it was pretty clear that that wasn't going to be his future. But he comes back in his senior year on an Audubon team that has been hit with a couple of injuries this year, especially in the rushing game. And now Pitman seemed to be caught off guard by Audubon's offensive alignment. We've got 1 minute exactly left in the first half. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Micah Frost on the call. Ben Wilden is our producer this evening. Glad to have you with us for a classic battle for Thanksgiving tune-up football between two teams that are not all that close. I mean, they're closer than they were last year. Audubon only had 3 wins last year. Pitman had 8. It was a bit of a controversy that Pitman was 1 win away from going to the playoffs in South Jersey Group 1.
Yep.
4th and short. They fake it to Hoff, and into the end zone is Aversa. Touchdown Audubon. They put up 2 scores here in the second quarter. It's an 8-yard rush, as I thought for sure they were going to give the ball to Dylan Hoff, but instead, Michael Aversa barrels through.
Number 22, Theo Caligari.
Oof, that's rough. Wait, Caligaris. It's Caladros, by the way. I've commentated his older brother, Theo, and his younger brother, so I'm used to it like the back of my hand at this point, but I can't really blame him. You see that last name on a stat sheet and your brain shuts down.
Yeah.
This PAT is up away and into the parking lot, hopefully not hitting my car. It's Audubon 14, Pitman 7. We've got under a minute to play in the second half. We'll take a quick break.
Back to you for Pitman, number 2, Dan Adams.
Audubon, their rush to, actually we're going to show that replay after the kickoff. Caladros with a line drive. It's going to be stumbling. Applegarth had a knee down, and that will stunt their kickoff return for a 1 minute, actually even a 50-second drill from the 30. As we'll take a look at that replay real quick. Again, just looking at this play here, it looks pretty menacing to have a lineman lining up in the backfield, but when you really break it down, there was really no way they were going to send Hoff out there, and then DeLuca was able to get through, and not too much of a worry there. Pitman's got 50 seconds to go 70 yards. Making a quick substitution here, bringing their 11th man out. Applegarth was on the return. He's now on the sideline for Pitman. 51 seconds remain in the first half. 1st and 10 from the 30, and Pitman will take a knee. They'll have to take another one before the half. Surprised that they're not challenging anything, but I guess with the time that they do have 2 timeouts. So, I don't know, playing an extremely conservative approach here to end the half. Should be noted, Audubon will receive the ball to start the second half. So this is an interesting decision by Chris Thomas. I'm sure he's got his rhyme and his reason to it, but they will line this one up, and they will kneel a second time. So 2nd and 10 from the 30, actually from the 29. That obviously the kneel brought a loss of 1. I'll line this one up, and they'll kneel a second time. So an odd way to end the first half as Pitman kneels to close it out, but Audubon up by a score. A 13-yard touchdown pass by Jude Cotter to Aaron Pilla, and an 8-yard rush from Michael Aversa gives Audubon a 14-7 lead going into the halftime break. We'll be back in 15-ish minutes for the second half of action here in a WJFL pre-Thanksgiving crossover between Audubon and Pitman.
2 minutes.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DM insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you. 2 minutes remaining. 4 fouls on St. Joe's. 1 more and it's a bonus, which would greatly help Gloucester Catholic. The moving green guard! It's a 1-point game just like that! This place is going nuts!
Center field straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field.
And now a drive to the basket by Spross. He lays it up and lays it in.
Around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off the semifinal with inside the park home run. Emma Spire.
There we go. Mascaro pulls up. He goes for 3. 6 points.
Lights up the scoreboard.
Jack Mascaro has tied the game with 90 seconds remaining. How will the Wildcats respond with a miss of...
And it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead extending goal for Justin Lewis. Ugly to end the day for Luke Pokrovsky. Little pop-up, first base side, he calls for it, and for the first time in 33 years, the Charlotte Cougars will hoist the trophy and face Middlesex on Monday. 4-3, Cougars win it. And in the battle of green and gold, the trophy stays true with the visitors. What a finish! And Shalleck will pack their bags for Middlesex and the Blue Jays when the weekend turns around to Monday. Coach Eppley, you know, he's, again, one time leaving the bases loaded is frustrating enough, doing it twice in a row. Oh, how about this? Line drive. They're going to, no, he's throwing it around the infield. They're going to throw him out at first. He's out. I have never seen that before. That is a 5-4-3 ground out. Because the third baseman thought he caught it, the home plate umpire said no, so he threw it around the infield and then got the out at first anyway because the batter thought he was out.
Yeah, the batter stopped, the third baseman thought
Everybody
he caught
stopped.
it, and it touched.
And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around in a tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning.
So after the holding call to be 1st and 20, as now rolling out to the right side, he's got a little bit of room to run on a QB rush. He's going to get a first down. There's no flags, and how about this for 61 yards? Anthony Gaetano with a QB rush that works to perfection. He hugs the sideline, and Anthony Gaetano gets the scoring started for the Redhawks at 7-6.
Jack Mastero, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a double, and a single. Looking to play hero. He's going to line this one into right center field, and that's going to drop. That's going to do it if they don't get a throw down. Mastero's going to second, and Danza's coming home. Sectional champions, Gloucester Catholic. They do it in a walk-off fashion as GC with Mastero playing hero. An unbelievable
Ben, go ahead. Just a quick halftime report here from Davis Field. It's Audubon 14, Pitman 7. It's been an interesting game for Audubon and Pitman so far, but the big thing for Pitman is that they have been getting burned by the run defense. Audubon scored twice on them in the second quarter, and they lead 14-7.
Yeah, I just think Pitman needs transition from rushing to throwing the ball a lot more. Like I said in the beginning, Dane has got a really great arm. I think he's got to use it a lot more this second half. And if they do, then I think they'll come away with the win.
We'll have to see. It was a 33-31 win for Pitman last year around this time. We're actually going to be a little bit short on time for the halftime report as Audubon and Pitman came out of their tunnels in due time, and we'll be getting ready for the kickoff. We'll flip this camera back around, and we've got 2 more quarters of WJFL Thanksgiving tune-up action in a moment.
Number 25, Christian Comiskey.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Audubon 14, Pitman 7.5. Again, I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Micah Frost on the call, Ben Wilden on the production. Wednesday night football, 50-ish degrees, and Pitman will kick this one off. A line drive kick, bounce to Figueroa. He takes it, and he's going to break through, and the last man to take him down was number 25, Christian Camisioli. And they'll get it up to midfield for the first drive of the second half for Audubon. I was quite surprised that Pitman kneeled twice to end the first half, and just mostly because they had 50 seconds left. They weren't in terrible position, but felt like Dane Collum could have at least tried something, but they took a very, very conservative approach and ended up kneeling twice. And again, if Pitman would receive the ball to start the second half, I would have thought differently about it. But with Audubon, they basically got a free drive because of that, and they'll be going back-to-back here. They send Aversa in motion in a deep end around. They end up, got a flag. It's caught by DeLuca. He's taken down for about 4 yards, but again, a flag came in from the near sideline.
Number 4, Jude Carter's pass, complete to number 2.
And now more whistles, excuse me, after the play. Couldn't tell if somebody was down or if they were just, it was just some extracurriculars. They've got an ineligible receiver downfield. Now the referee from the far sideline is coming in like a bull in a china shop. See what this is about. Was there an extra penalty that the other ref didn't see, or they will wave the flag off?
They're picking the flag up.
Well, the referees are going to discuss, and I'm sure Chris Thomas isn't thrilled about it. Just from the body language that I could see, it looked like maybe the far referee heard the Audubon receiver call him or declare themselves eligible. So, yeah, I wonder if there was just a miscommunication there. Referees wave off the flag, and we resume play, 2nd and 7. Cotter, handoff. Middle side, Aversa sends a man down, and he gets in there. Collum and Adams combined for the tackle, and that'll be a gain, enough for a first down. Audubon's really impressing me. I mean, for a team that only won 2 games in the regular season, 2-6, and one win was over an 0-9 Gloucester Catholic team that allowed something like 400 points in 9 games. I mean, it was a bloodbath for Gloucester Catholic. And obviously Gloucester Catholic is not a divisional opponent of Audubon's. That was just their alignment. A minute gone in the third quarter. Cotter pump fakes with the shoulder, lets this one fly deep, and it's picked off. Intercepted by the Panthers. Moving over to the right side, he's out of bounds. Aiden Upham picked up the INT. A little slow to get up with Ethan Kubat. And Kubat still on the ground, but it's an interception for Upham as Cotter throws his first pick. Trying to fix the camera here, folks. There we go. Try to fix that issue when we can. 10:51 to play.
Looks like Ethan is furious right now that he didn't get any call.
I didn't particularly see what happened.
I didn't either.
Because we were focused on the fact that Upham had the interception.
Yep.
Again, Kubat on the sideline. Coming in his place is number 64, Jimmy Horner. Kubat, the senior, will play in his last game on Thanksgiving Day, 10:30 a.m. from Clayton. Handoff. Audubon's going to swallow this one up.
Number 0, Jay Craig in the carry.
Craig was on the carry, and he didn't get anywhere with it. It'll be 2nd and 13. And by didn't get anywhere with it, he actually lost 3 yards. So he went somewhere, just not in the right direction. But as it stands, 14-7 Audubon, the 3rd turnover of the game. We've had 2 fumble recoveries and now an interception. Cotter picked off by Upham. As we just get started in the 3rd quarter here from Pitman at Davis Field on the site of the Pitman Elementary School. Cotter sending one of his receivers out away from the line in Eisenhart. 3 receivers slotted out to the left. It's caught, but a flag comes in. Flag came in from the far sideline. Pass was caught by Samuel Adams. Well, let's see what this penalty flag is. It's another ineligible man downfield.
Ineligible man downfield against Pittman.
So that'll be a loss on the penalty there, and this will bring him to 2nd and quite long. Panthers get backed up here. The pass was complete. Chris Thomas trying to plead his case to the side judge. Just a lot of tension. I mean, what we saw, you know, the unvarnished play that we saw in the 1st quarter, that's starting to come back here. Just a lot of players, let's just say, getting to know each other. Let's call it that, getting to know each other. It's 2nd and 18. They're back at their own 31-yard line. And movement. Jonah Jordan jumped on the defensive end. They're looking at the Pitman line to see if there was movement there. And now 4 referees are coming in to talk about this one. It is going to be offside on Audubon. That's what I thought. They were looking over at Upham on the side. They were either looking at Upham or Clark. But Jonah Jordan jumped the gun, and it'll be 2nd and 13, lined up at the 36. Second and 13, lined up from the 36-yard line. A tight formation for the Panthers. Wouldn't be surprised if they try a screen here, try to slip everybody through, and let the line do the rest. Kind of. That one is floated. It's caught by Craig on his feet. Sends a man down. He is down. Got sent out of bounds. Beebe with the push out, and it'll be from the 46-yard line. And again, this all being Pittman's first drive of the half after Upham picked off Jude Cotter to end Audubon's first drive. So they were able to get something out of it.
3 for Pittman, ball spotted at their own 46-yard line.
Pitman still looking at Thomas and the assistant coaches on the sideline, making sure everybody's good. Again, Pitman running this very tight formation, single back in Craig. Sent a man in motion. It's Upham. Craig got the handoff. He's got a first down. He's across the 50. And most importantly, it'll move the sticks. They're up to the 46-yard line.
That was just a great way to break up through the middle. Do like that single back formation.
Yeah, Pitman using a lot of trickery, or a lot of misdirection, if you will. And you could actually see Jay Craig's coming up limping on that play. We'll see if they keep him in the game. They don't have too many substitutes for him, for a guy as good as Jay Craig, along with Aiden Upham. But, yeah, I mean, as it stands, Pitman, they had that one play where Colin was able to get a lot of yards because they lined up 4 wide receivers to the left, and they were able to get out of it. Here comes Upham on the rush, gets shoved out of bounds at around the 41. That'll be another gain of 5. Again, consistency kills, and that's exactly what it's going to be for Pitman. It's going to come down to, can they keep running the ball consistently? Can they keep passing the ball efficiently and consistently? Because if you take off too much time, then it's not going to help you. But in a Group 1 setting, there's a lot of time-wasting drives, and Pitman might just be on the path to that, where you get rush, pass, rush, first down. There's a million different ways you could go. But we've got 7:50. Again, the clock stopped because the runner went out of bounds.
3 wide receivers on the right side.
Yeah, they got that trips right. Audubon's been running a lot of trips formation. First time I've seen Pitman run it. Upham, or rather Craig, got tackled at his feet. Audubon's number 5 came in for the tackle that time, Aiden Lehan, the senior.
Third down and 5 for Pitman.
3rd and 5 for the Panthers. This has been a back-and-forth battle, and again, the angle's a little bit lower than what you expect when we're in Audubon, when we're at Bendorf-Narducci Stadium, but we are one in the bleachers tonight. Remember, this camera is in the last row of the bleachers here at Davis Field because we don't have enough room to set up in the press box. So we do appreciate Pitman's athletic department and new athletic director, Caitlin Hess, for having us out, along with assistant AD, John Hopley. Craig looking to barrel through. First down marker is at the 36. I don't think he got it. Pitman's waiting for a call. Referee, head ref signals 4th down. They're about 2 yards short. Again, line to gain is at the 36-yard line. Might be at the 35, given that they are 2 yards short.
Down and 2 for Pitman.
A lot of physicality in this game, a lot of tension. Audubon and Pitman, if I ever got the keys to the city and I ever got to put conference realignment in my hands like college football does, I'd put Pitman and Audubon in the same conference. We've got whistles. False start? No. Pittman called a timeout.
Timeout, Pitman.
Looks like a miscommunication between head coach Thomas and the rest of their crew. We'll take a quick break. Pitman burns their first of the half with 6:16 to play. It's the Green Wave 14 and the Panthers 7. Said that. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
Audubon 14, Pitman 7. Here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. 4th and short. Dropping back. Column lets this one fly deep. Caught!
Oh, my God.
Aiden Upham way downtown. 37 yards. And Aiden Upham is 1 point away from tying this game up. 14-13.
That was a great look downfield. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said Dane had a great arm.
Dane's got a fantastic arm, and that's why these Division III schools like the small-town kid, Dane Collum. He's a lanky figure, if you will, 6 foot 160, but man, he's got a cannon. This will be kicked by Christian Kimiscioli to tie the game halfway through the third. This one's up, away, and good. Kimiscioli 2 for 2 as Dane Collum finds Aiden Upham downfield for 37 yards. We'll stay right here. Do we have a replay of that? Okay, we'll get that in just a second. Pitman and Audubon tied. Okay, so we don't have a replay on that, but this is YouTube. This is not cable TV. You can rewind, hit the back arrow, do whatever you need. I mean, to be fair, we had a conversation with John Mondelli a couple weeks ago. Mondelli was the head wrestling commentator for GCEN or Comcast Channel 5. It was Comcast Channel 5, then it was Channel 8, then it was Channel 43, and that would be where all the high school sports were. And, well, you know, now there is a demand for at-the-ready high school sports, independent. And while we don't exclusively cover Gloucester County, there's a lot of Gloucester County schools that we cover frequently. Pitman, Kingsway, West Deptford, Clearview, the big three down there, the big corridor of Washington Township, Clearview, Kingsway, we cover them a ton. Not as much Williamstown, but a lot of Group 1 schools. And you know what gets the least amount of representation in sports media? Group 1 schools. Because, I mean, just this atmosphere tonight, you don't get this in a Group 5 school. Probably 80% of the people that are sitting in the bleachers right now could go up to any one person, strike up a conversation, and have something in common, or even know the person. You don't get that at Kingsway. You don't get that at Clearview. In schools with 3,000-4,000 kids, there's not a lot of continuity. There's not a lot of companionship. In Pitman, I don't even think they have 1,000 kids. Audubon didn't have 1,000 kids. Audubon only had 850 when I was in high school. So here comes the kick. Kimiscioli is going to get this one out of bounds. And it'll be an illegal kick procedure to send Audubon, I believe, to the 35. But you were talking about, Micah, you got it dead right at the half. Said Collum should pass more because he's got a good arm. And yes, you do risk the interceptions, but he's got 14 TDs compared to 9 interceptions this year. In a Thanksgiving tune-up game, I would definitely consider it a little bit more.
Yeah, I like those odds.
And I would also say, if you're Pitman, you know what you're running into on Thanksgiving Day. Clayton is a run-exclusive offense. I'm not even saying run-heavy. Gabriel Hill is only going to pass the ball 2 to 4 times a game, at most. He might not even pass at all, depending on what the weather conditions are on Thanksgiving. If it rains, forget it. We're going to have another 7-0 game like we did last year. But in this situation, you know, Audubon knows, or Pitman knows what they're getting into. Here comes Diggy Hoff. Diggy Hoff, the lineman, is going to get 6 yards, it looks like. It's a shock every time you see number 54 running the ball. But
number 65, Ethan Kubat.
As we mentioned, well, Kubat had the tackle.
Second down and 3 for Audubon.
Here's another rush. It's Hoff. Diggy Hoff.
That's holding.
We have a flag coming in, 2 flags coming in.
Number 54, Dylan Hoff.
It's going to be up to 35.
That was definitely a holding call.
Let's see here.
Tackle number 11, Will Clark.
Clark came up with the tackle, holding on the offense, and that's just the 1 infraction, so I heard somebody say that was a terrible call. I wonder if they thought it was something else. And it looks like Jordan was the one who got called for holding. But again, Diggy Hoff, number 54, he's 5'10", 250 pounds. It looks out of place in terms of how, you know, he lines up in the backfield. He's standing there right next to the tight end, Jonah Jordan. He could be one of them.
He could be,
And then the sophomore, Jude Cotter, 6'2", 165. He's a lanky kid, just like Dane Collum is. But, I mean, listen, he's able to get those rushes. If anything, Dylan Hoff is more of a fullback instead of a running back. We're going full circle, and we're just bringing back the fullback. Welcome back, Kyle Juszczyk. 2nd and 4 from the 41. They hand it off to Hoff again. Diving forward, he's going to get about 4 yards, and that should be enough for a first down.
Tackle number 65, Ethan Kubat.
And remember, as long as he lines up and declares himself eligible, there's nothing, it's not like the NFL where these people have to play these positions. You know, this is Group 1 football. There might be 15 to 20 players on Audubon's sideline, and on Pitman's sideline, I can count maybe 12 players.
Yeah.
So Audubon's definitely got more than that then, but Pitman's going to be playing both sides of the ball, so will Audubon. Cotter, handoff to the tight end, Jordan. A tight end rush is going to yield about 2 yards on top of the Panther logo from the 47. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8. But it seems pretty apparent Audubon changing their game plan and now going for a rush-heavy offense here in the 3rd quarter. Kind of changing everything up at once. Again, we talked about, I sang my praises for Dylan Hoff, the running back, but he didn't get any action as a running back in this first half. Now he lines up pretty much every play that we've seen so far in this Audubon second half. Aversa taken down from the back. The big gentleman, number 74, gets up the tackle that time. Paul Eller, and briefly down was Ethan Kubat, but he does get back on his feet. It'll be 3rd and 8. Line to gain is at the 45. I mean, Audubon's rushing has been kind of good, but it hasn't been consistent, that's for sure. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to throw it to that left side. They got an opening there, and now Pitman calls a timeout. They had 10 guys on the field. There was one player that ran off in Wisniewski. There was a miscommunication, it looks like. Pitman only had 10 guys, and they had sent their 11th man to the sideline. So no red cards in football. You can't play 11 on 10, and that's the other kind of football. 3:48 left in the third. We'll take a quick break, 14-14. Go ahead. Tie game. Pitman called their second timeout. That could come back to haunt them later, depending on what is needed. With 2 timeouts already called in the third quarter, Cotter slipped, lets it fly. Deep, double coverage, picked off. Picked off on the far side of the field inside the 10-yard line for a deep bomb on 3rd and 8.
By Eli Applegarth.
Eli Applegarth, the 5'8" sophomore, stands above and picks off Jude Cotter for the second time. I mean, Cotter's got an arm too, but that one's come back to bite him. Eli Applegarth with the interception. And with 3 minutes and change left in the third, Pitman could take the lead on this drive if they so choose. Because they haven't really had much luck outside of that 38-yard pass from Colum to Upham. Like we said, we'll be seeing some of these kids during the basketball season on both sides. Eric Young for Audubon, younger brother of Azon Young, a fantastic combo guard. Pitman making some quick shifts on the line. And I'm pretty sure Dane Colum, a basketball player as well.
No, not this year.
Not this year? Was he last year?
No. I think he stopped
Jay Craig gets sent down
year.
hard. Oh, he's doing, I didn't know Pitman had a swim team. Good for them. We got whistles. We've got a Pitman player, no, Audubon player down on the near sideline. So Audubon attending to that player. So when I was in high school, Audubon and Collingswood had a co-ed swim team. They called them the Wanthers for the Wave and the Panthers. But On December the 1st, we will announce our high school basketball schedule for the season. I can hint to you that there will be several Audubon games and several Pitman games for a total of 38 high school basketball games across 9 conferences and 7 counties. Keith Allen coming over as the assistant for Audubon there, along with Audubon's athletic trainer, Liam Corbel. But as we said, our high school basketball season will start on December the 15th. We've got some fantastic matchups this year. We've been able to establish some new connections. Group 1 football, Group 1 basketball, Group 4 basketball. I'm still in football season, even though we're already actively doing high school basketball games. But as they attend to this player for Audubon, can't tell who that is down there. It's not Jonah Jordan. It looked like they were lifting his leg for a cramp, and now it seems like that's taking a little bit longer. Again, Audubon's athletic trainer, Liam Corbel, out there. It's Nolan Figueroa who is down. He gets back up on his feet, but will walk off the field gingerly under his own power. Here from Davis Field, 3:30 left in the third. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Micah Frost on the call, Ben Wilden on the production. We'll be back in action tomorrow for women's basketball in JUCO in NJSIAA between the Northampton Spartans and the RCSJ Gloucester Roadrunners. Tip-off at 5 p.m. That is a women's standalone game. Hey, we're waiting for Figueroa to get off the field.
15-yard line.
2nd and 10. After the interception, Collum lines this one back up from his own 15-yard line. After the interception by Applegarth. This one's a deep ball out of the hands of Upham. Oh, so close to a breakaway. That was somewhat broken up. Just think that it looked like they had 2 men on him, Beebe and Pilla. And Collum would have had an 85-yard pass if it was good. But instead, it boils down to an incompletion to bring it to 3rd and 10. So Figueroa is still receiving assistance on the sideline, but now out of play. But in the eyes of the football game, when you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And we get to resume the play as normal.
3rd down and 10 for Pitman. Ball spotted at their own 15-yard line.
At their own 15, it's 3rd and 10. Pitman has had to punt away the ball twice tonight, which is partially why Audubon stayed in this game. Pitman has looked like the better team tonight just in terms of consistency. Another ball caught. Pilla is able to keep the receiver on his feet, Upham. Pilla was able to finish off the job. From the short angle, that'll be a 1st down. Gain of 11. So that was enough. You're watching coverage of WJFL Group 1 football on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you'd like to make a contribution to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, you can send us anything that you'd like on our Venmo at DW Broadcasting. For your disclosure, we're not getting paid for tonight's game, and for 80% of our football games, we're doing this for not only the exposure of the programs, but also for the advancement of our careers in sports broadcasting and sports media. I'm a 2nd-year student at Rowan College of South Jersey, and then both of my assistants today are students at Pitman High School. Leaping. Jay Craig and a flag. It's the flag's going to be for hurdling. You cannot hurdle in high school as it's classified as a dangerous move. So even though it looked nice, Craig's going to get called for a hurdle. It's one of those things where even though you watch it in the pros, can't do it in high school. So that will knock them back. Again, there is a bit of a gray area in terms of what is a hurdle, what is not, but I thought that was a pretty clear hurdle. The only thing I could see Thomas being upset about was whether or not the hurdle was fully completed inbounds, but either way, they're still going to get called for it. Doesn't matter really where you do it. I mean, it's the right call. because that's just the hurdle is not a legal move in high school football. It's been that way for a long time. Just like how there was no roughing the passer call against Dane Collum earlier. If that's in the NFL, does that get called? Maybe. There's a bit of a gray area down here, but not everything's going to be 100%. 3:13. This is going to be 1st and 20. They're inside their own 20 from the 18-yard line. Basically back to where they started, but with a whole new set of downs. Tight formation for the Panthers. Collum rolling out. He's in trouble. Jonah Jordan sends him down hard. The tight end and linebacker and defensive end, Jonah Jordan, the senior and the younger brother of Jeff and Jake Jordan, basically wrestling royalty in Audubon. Both went on to have Division I careers at Marist and Sacred Heart.
2nd down and 27 for Pitman. Ball spotted at the Roon.
And Jonah Jordan, as a senior, still strong, still staying strong, and following in his brother's footsteps. They're back to 2nd and 27. They're all the way back at the 9. So a personal foul and now a sack against Collins. Collins' first sack of the day. Rolling out left side. Craig, ball came out, but it was as he came out of bounds. We'll see where they line this up. Where we're lined up, we don't have a good vantage point from up top. We're kind of on the same level as the fans are, so we just kind of have to roll with it. Ryan Reed picked up the tackle that time. Was able to force the ball out, but it was a moot point. It's a loss of 2, 3rd and 29.
3rd down 29 for Pitman.
This is always a difficult situation because when you're at 3rd and 29, the confidence that you have to get a first down is so slim that you almost want to start exploring options to just punt right away. But we've seen teams convert on longer. Opening weekend, Paulsboro converted on a 3rd and 35, thanks to several holding penalties and a personal foul. They will run it. I don't understand that, in my opinion. Craig was on the carry. I guess they were banking on Audubon missing a couple tackles. That is a loss. But now you're going to be at the 4-yard line. A loss of 5. This is desperation here. Pitman is going to have to punt in a tight formation in their own end zone.
4-yard line.
Audubon's getting their situation figured out. They're getting all the receivers covered in case Pitman decides to fake. I think it will be quite a dull decision to punt fake on 4th and 32, but Craig is back there to send this one away. Can't tell who's on the return for Audubon. Might be Pilla. Referee counting down the time. High snap. That was almost dangerous. This one's going to roll. We'll keep rolling. Keep rolling. Past midfield. And they'll bring this one in from their own 48. I'll tell you that much. Having to punt out of the hash of your own end zone on 4th and 32 and produce a 50-yard punt out of it, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredibly impressive there from the punter. And again, when you're in a Group 1 situation, unless you're Shalleck and it's Hunter Dragata, you don't have a kicker. You don't have a punter. Your kicker and punter is whoever you can find who wants to do it. And maybe sometimes you'll do tryouts, and other times it really depends on who's available. When I was in high school, there was Logan Gilbert, who got some D1 looks. He's now doing track and field in college. Noah Batillo's in the game at quarterback. Batillo's going to take it himself, gain of 6, maybe 7 yards, and he'll get that one up to the 43. And a man down. Is that Collum?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Collum is down. So with Audubon taking over on defense, now Pittman's quarterback in some pain. So Noah Batillo came in as the quarterback. He did have some playing time in Audubon's first-round playoff loss to Glassboro. They lost 41-0. They've made the playoffs for 3 straight years as the 8 seed. They were the last team in 3 years in a row. And all of a sudden, you can hear a pin drop here in Pitman for Dane Collum. We'll take a quick break. 1:01 left in the third, 14-all. Dane Collum being helped off the field by the athletic trainer, Jennifer Smith. He's able to walk off under his own power, but got hit hard, as the last thing you want to see is to get your quarterback injured. You don't want to see anybody injured, but the starting quarterback not even in his offensive role. He was helping out Pitman on defense, as he has done. He's lined up on his position chart as a quarterback and a defensive back, and he will now go take a seat and be attended to by the athletic trainer, Smith. Under a minute to play. Batillo again in the quarterback position. He hands this one off to DeLuca. Well, a couple of shoves forward. You can hear Pitman's coach. I don't think that Pitman coach is too thrilled with how his team's playing right now, but on a Wednesday night when you're 5 rows from the field, you can hear the coaches a lot better than you can when you're 20 rows from the field in a packed house. But for what it's worth, there's not a lot of empty seats. I'd say it's about 70-75% full for Wednesday night. This is a school night. All the kids in the student section, they got to go to school tomorrow. I don't, but you do.
Sadly.
Yeah, trust me, I get that luxury. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Batillo fakes. He takes it himself. Craig charging behind him. Gets wrestled around, and that'll be a gain of about 7 yards. And another Pitman player comes up down on the play. They're going to let this clock run to the end of the third quarter. And after 3 here in Pitman at Davis Field, this game is turning out to be just like what it was last year, but with a bit of a lower scoring defensive flair. It's Audubon 14, Pitman 14 after 3 quarters. Okay, bring me back. 14-14 left. 12 minutes left in the ball game. Good crowd on hand tonight. Cheerleaders in full force. Student section in full force. They had, I tried to guess the theme. I think it was, it's like Animal Kingdom over there. They got some people in, it's a jungle theme.
Okay.
There's no jungle in Pitman, I can tell you that much.
That's true.
The only jungle might be at Alcyon Park if somebody doesn't cut the weeds. That's about it. But they were getting something fixed with the spotting. I think they had the teams on the wrong hash. But Audubon will start from their left hash to start the fourth quarter. 2nd and 5 from the 32. Dropping back Batillo, right side, low pass, and it's incomplete.
It is.
Tenant receiver with BB.
It's jungle theme night.
Jungle theme, interesting.
Animal
I guess because
print
Panthers.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Funny enough, the Panthers are the most common team name in all of New Jersey. 17 high schools call themselves the Panthers. A handful in South Jersey as well. Palmyra. Well, we saw Palmyra and Pitman on Friday, not too long ago. Collingswood. I'm trying to see what else. Maple Shade used to be called the Panthers until the 50s when they switched to the Wildcats.
They try to be original.
Left side. Oh, hit 6 ways from Sunday. Getting up that time Looks like Aversa was on the carry.
Tackle number 2, Sam Adams.
That should bring him the fourth down here.
And number 28, John Wisniewski.
There's also a lot of Rams. There's a lot of Cougars. Not a lot of Green Wave. Only 3. And 3 feels like a high number.
Oh.
Audubon, Long Branch in the Shore Conference, and the Del Barton School, the prep school up in North Jersey. It's 4th and 2 at the 29-yard line. Batillo looks over to the sideline. Might have been trying to draw Pittman's line offside that time. Here we go. Aversa breaks through, and it looks like he's got a first down for Audubon. That's a big break that time. I mean, just being able to have that versatility on that play. Again, I can't help but think that Batillo was trying to draw a hard count that time, which would be the easy way out, but he didn't get it that time, so they had to go the hard way, get a, looks like a 4-yard rush to get it to the 24. Actually, a 5-yard gain because they're lined up at the 24. On the doorstep of the red zone, 2 receivers to the right. Wouldn't be surprised if Jordan goes out on a flat here. No, he sets up as a blocker. He's got room, though. Batillo, deep, right side, incomplete. Intended receiver was the freshman, DeLuca.
Might have been deflected.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if there was, I couldn't tell who tipped what.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, right now, I can't really tell. If you're just joining us, actually a couple of raindrops coming down. Really hope that that holds off because there was nothing on the radar. When I look at the Apple weather radar, it said there was nothing. Second and 10.
Number 54, Dylan Hoff on the carry.
That one is going to be a rush.
I feel like that's the one upside of having him as the running back is just him plowing through everyone. Having him just run up the middle and gain a couple extra yards.
Tackle number 52, Aiden Millward.
3rd and 3.
Third down and 3 for Audubon.
10 minutes to play in regulation. We're tied up at 14. Really could go down to the last possession or two for these teams. Hoff, rush
Hoff on the carry.
On 3rd and short. They tried to get something out of it.
Tackle number 52, Aiden Millward.
Millward picked up the tackle. It's going to be 1st and 10. They're at the 19-yard, they're at the 14-yard line, excuse me.
1st and 10, Audubon, ball spotted at the Pitman 19-yard line. Oh, check that, 14.
Hoff lined up again in the backfield as the running back. They hand it off. Aversa stays on his feet. Gets a handful of yards that time. Looks like he gets it closer to the 10 for a gain of 4.
Tackle number 2, Sam Adams.
Yeah, even if you pull up Apple's weather app, it says Pitman mostly clear. Chance of rain, 0. Welcome to Florida, where it just starts raining when you don't want it to. 2nd and 9. Got a 1-yard rush that time by Aversa. Again, Aversa, Hoff, handful of guys have been getting the jobs done in the second half. And good news for Colum, while he does have his helmet off, here comes Dylan Hoff diving forward. That's going to be close. He's going to be about 2 yards short. What we were saying was that even though Colum has his helmet off, he is throwing with an assistant coach on the near sideline. So it looks like that whatever injury he had, where you could hear a pin drop for the quarterback, Dane Colum, it does look like he's back on his feet with full mobility and will at least try to slug out the end of the game. Because this game, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but it's a way to make sure everybody's tuned up for Thanksgiving. Like, Clayton's not playing any games between now and then. I'd say Clayton and Haddon Heights might not be a bad game. Here comes Dylan Hoff. Touchdown over the middle.
Touchdown Audubon.
Dylan Hoff, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, and the unsuspecting running back, the 250-pound lineman, as a convert to running back, picks up the lead for Audubon. It's 20-14.
Audubon number 22, Theo Caligaris.
Caladros will kick the PAT. Again, can't tell who's holding there, but Hoff with a 4-yard rush. It's up, away, and good. That clears everything. Caladros 3 for 3. And, well, their kicker, Christian Kemiscioli, also 2 for 2. We'll take a quick break. It's Audubon 21, Pitman 14. Camera's okay, that's good.
Number 0, Jay Craig on the return.
Probably because he got yanked out. Let me see the... Well, no, I don't even need a new cord. Okay, let's not do that again.
Well, I'm glad that you're not photoing anything.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning I'll need an aspirin, but it's okay. I think I just fell backwards.
You did fall backwards.
I don't even know what happened really. Because when you're falling, you're not really thinking about what you're doing.
You just wasn't paying attention. That's all it was.
Yeah. They messed with like the forest. The umbrellas are...
Penalties against Pitman for illegal procedure.
Come on.
Okay. Oh, I can't hear myself. Hold on.
First and 15 for Pitman. Ball spotted at their own 37-yard line.
Okay, there we go. First and 15. We've got more whistles.
Number 0, Jay Craig on the carry.
Oh, video's freezed. That's what it is. Well, the reason why the video's freezed is because during the commercial break, I wish there was a camera filming. I fell backwards. That doesn't usually happen in a press box, but today it did, and it actually yanked out the USB cord. So give us 1 sec. We're going to go to a quick break. We've got 2nd and 17. We're going to grab that spare cord, and we'll be right back. Can we go to main screen? No, okay. All right, so we're just going to fix this, folks. We are back. We got a new video cord. We're just putting the video back on. What you missed, not much. It was third, and it was 3 and out and a punt. That's still not working. Oh, because the HDMI cord is out. My apologies, guys. Bear with me. I don't even know. Oh, yeah, that HDMI cord is. Yeah, we're gonna go back to break. There's more problems. The HDMI cord got yanked out and it's all bent up, so we have to grab another one. So give us 30 more seconds. Screwed up enough. Go ahead. Okay, we are back. Again, I apologize. I tripped over a cord during the commercial break, apparently, fell backwards, fell right on my rear end, and then yanked the HDMI cord out of the camera. So we're having fun around here. It's 21-14 Audubon. Again, what you missed during the break, Pitman went 3 and out. They punted, and Audubon's drive now. It's 3rd and 4. Line of gain is at the 40. That is going to be well short. Audubon called a timeout, so what better time to come right back than before Audubon's timeout? So they burn their first of the half. Oh, I'm sorry, Pitman burns their last timeout. Very interesting to see Pitman burn all 3 timeouts with 4.5 minutes left. They burned 2 of their timeouts in the 3rd quarter. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt from here. Oh, man. I was just saying during the break, sometimes when you fall over, you don't feel any pain, and then 5 minutes later, it comes right back at you. Fourth and 5. They lost 2 yards on the last play. And now we've got 4:34 to play. 4th and mid-range. There's some Pitman parents who just yelled up to the coach's box for Dan Reed.
Coming out the punt for Audubon, number 22.
I don't know. I mean, I got the headset on. He must have said something. Pitman parents didn't. I heard Coach Reed say, "I'm very sorry." So he must have said something out of line. And the Pitman parents, I've never seen the parents confront a coach in the top of the coaching box before, but guess there's a first for everything. There really is a first for everything here. And of course, now that we sent everybody out to get the rain gear, it stopped raining. Yeah, no, for those worried about me in the comment section, I am okay. I'm just like a little sore. I'll take an ibuprofen when I get home, maybe have a cup of ice cream or something, make me feel a little bit better. But it's first and 10 for Pitman after Audubon's punt. Pitman has no timeouts and down by a score. That's why I was surprised they burned that 3rd timeout and that they burned 2 of their timeouts in the 3rd quarter.
At the road, 20-yard line.
So Audubon definitely has that advantage in that right. Column, pass to Upham. It's caught. Yeah, like I said, I did not hear a word of what was said, but there was a horde of Pitman fans who started screaming up to the 3rd level of the press box. And again, in a Group 1 environment, it's pretty quiet tonight, except for when there's actual play on the field happening. So something must have been said that the opposing parents didn't like. When we saw something like that last year, pass caught, not in this game specifically, but in another crossover game, Lenape and Camden Catholic, there were Lenape fans that were actually going up to the press box and yelling at the public address announcer because of, I guess, some favoritism. But sometimes high school athletics really bewilder you in terms of the humanities, if you will. Because this is a Wednesday night, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. The whole point of this game is to be a tune-up for both teams. And funny enough, Haddon Township playing another tune-up game tomorrow night versus Camden Catholic. It's just a roundabout at this point. It's teams that are playing in Thanksgiving are playing other teams that are also playing Thanksgiving. This one's a pass over the middle, caught by Sam Adams. The starter quarterback to the backup quarterback. Sam Adams hit downfield up to the 45, a gain of 23. Again, we were worried about Collum being hurt on the defensive side as he went down with a pretty serious injury, but then he came up after a long delay and hasn't missed a beat on the offensive front. First down from the 45. First and 10.
45-yard line.
Collum will not be fooled by the defense of Audubon. Big hit. Aversa was brought to the ground first by Jonah Jordan. That stalled his progress, and Michael Aversa finished him off. It'll be 2nd and 15. Collum gets sacked for a loss of 5. He couldn't even get out of the play action there. He couldn't even get out of rolling to the right. Just that Audubon defense read him so well. And it ends up costing him. 2nd and 15. Pitman down by a score. 2 minutes left. You blink and you miss it. Collum in trouble. He stays on his feet. He does not let go of the ball. Hoff, he'll take himself out of bounds. Got to pass the ball in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2nd and 15. You've already been sacked for a loss of 5. I don't care where it goes to, but just I was very surprised that he just didn't throw it. I don't know if he didn't find anybody that he could go to, but
I mean, they're down by 1 score. It's
a minute 49.
Minutes. Yep.
You have 0 timeouts, so if Audubon gets the ball, the game is effectively over. So
might as well try and go for it.
If Audubon gets a win, they would get their first win versus Pitman in school history after losing to Pitman 33-31 in last year's Thanksgiving tune-up. Same day, same time last year. Collum. Pump fakes, throws over the middle. It's almost picked off, but it's broken up by Nolan Figueroa, who went down earlier in the game with an injury. He comes back and gets a big stop on the defensive side. Figueroa now sets up 4th and 18 for Dane Collum. Could be the last chance tonight. These teams will not play next week. Audubon's game, which will be, for those curious, Audubon Haddon Township, the Curley Cup, that will be broadcasted on WIP Sports Radio, 94.1 WIP. And then we will be at Pitman Clayton. If you're unaware, we will be at Pitman Clayton on Thursday, November 27th on Thanksgiving Day. 4th and 18, Collum rolls out to the right. He lets it fly. Off-kilter pass. Did he bring that one in? Audubon says no. And the referees say no. It's an incomplete pass. And Audubon will take over as the pass was oh so short. Looked like Clark was in there. I think Upham was the intended receiver. And Audubon's going to win this game with Pitman having 0 timeouts unless Audubon fumbles the ball, which has happened. It's okay, I jumped the gun a little bit. It's not entirely over, but with Pitman having 0 timeouts.
And a minute and a half left.
Minute 37. So Audubon and Pitman, 21-14. It was a little bit higher scoring last year, 33-31. But Audubon now lining up in victory formation. They're not even going to take any chances here. Noah Batillo in.
1st and 10 Audubon, ball spotted at the Pitman
And for what it's worth, Coach Reed came down from the press box and he apologized to somebody over to our right. So again, I don't know.
11, Nolan Batilla takes it in.
Yeah. We can presume what was said was something we can't say on air.
Yeah.
But Audubon will have to take a couple knees. And if it's a Group 5 stadium where there's a couple thousand people, that probably doesn't get heard. But on a Wednesday night, I mean, I've heard coaches we were at a Cinnaminson game where if you just go back and watch the tape, I think those parents would have yelled at them 10 times if they were in Cinnaminson that night. But sometimes there's no place for it, and things happen. Patillo will take a knee. He'll have to take one more. Again, Audubon just staying really, really conservative here. I thought they would have maybe rushed it once or twice, but Audubon not willing to take any risks. 30 seconds left. Some fans filing out tonight with Pitman prior to their Thanksgiving matchup versus Clayton. The 100th in their long history will go to 4-5, and Audubon will go to 3-6. With a road win, whether you want to call it an upset, I don't know. But the Green Wave will knock off the Pitman Panthers in Wednesday night midweek action by a final score of 21-14. Very interesting tonight. This was a game that was just like last year. It was very physical. It was high scoring for what it was worth. 21-14 isn't nothing. It was around the middle of the road, but it was very physical. You could tell from the get-go that Audubon and Pitman were going to play tough. They were going to play hard. They'd probably say some things that even I can't repeat on television, but eventually it prevailed in the end. So the way that it is, Audubon ended up, I mean, listen, it was 14-7 Audubon at half. Pitman tied it up, thought maybe they'd have a little bit more momentum with Dane Collum, 38-yard touchdown pass. But I'll give my player of the game honors to I'll give it to Diggy Hoff, I think. Rushing touchdown, his 7th of the year, was able to get it in front. I think that it's some creative play calling that made that possible, as Audubon's going to move everybody over to the other side for their post-game conferences. But, yeah, I mean, with that being said, Audubon definitely did not play their best game. Pitman did not play their best game. This was going to come down to a battle of who made the least amount of mistakes, and that's what it ended up being. And Audubon made a lot of mistakes, but when you do the math, they won the game, which is one less mistake than Pitman. With Pitman, Dane Collum had a fantastic game. And if Pitman won, I would have given him the player of the game. But he didn't get picked off. Jude Cotter, the sophomore for Audubon, got picked off twice. They had to sub out him for Noah Batillo in the third quarter. So there's two sides to every coin, and I think that Audubon, even though they didn't play their best game, definitely came out in the end a lot of times because of the fact that they showed up when it mattered most. Pitman was the more consistent team. They had more consistent passing. They had more consistent rushing. They had more consistent defense. But consistency sometimes can be thrown out the window when the offense is just that good. And Noah Batillo coming in, I think that he's going to have a strong senior season. Obviously, Audubon, now that they're out of the playoffs and the only thing that they can focus on is Thanksgiving, they're just going to go from there. And when they go into the offseason, Batillo's going to become a senior. Cotter's going to become a junior, and that will be Dan Reed's decision to see who gets to start in 2026. Pitman doesn't have that problem right now. They've got Dane Collum, and, well, their backup is Sam Adams, who is a junior, but probably going to be the presumptive starter in 2026. But, Micah, your takeaways from tonight?
Yeah, I just think that, overall it was a pretty good game. Like you said, it wasn't neither of their best games. That's really all I have to say.
Well, I will say it'll be a good pivot point for both of these teams. Audubon 3-6 will go to a 2-7 Haddon Township team on Wednesday night. As we mentioned, that game will be radio broadcast on WIP 94.1. Again, we wish we could be there, but they won the vote. So congratulations to Audubon and Haddon Township for getting that radio broadcast on WIP. Then we will be, again, if you were not aware, we will be at the 100th annual Pitman-Clayton Thanksgiving game on Thursday, November 27th. We were there 2 years ago when Pitman was still very unfamiliar to us and Clayton was very unfamiliar to us, but we're proud to say that we will be back in Clayton for the 100th annual Pitman-Clayton rivalry game on Thursday the 27th. That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. For the doubleheader, we had a great game. We had a great day today. Cherokee beat Washington Township in the girls' soccer semifinals 3-1, and Audubon beats Pitman in football in the midweek 21-14. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator Haley Mejia, our graphics crew Gavin Vandrell, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, my producer, Pitman student Ben Wilden, my color commentator, Pitman student Micah Frost. I'm Dan Wilkins. I've got one bad knee and one bad side of my back. We'll see you all tomorrow. Women's basketball between Northampton and RCSJ Gloucester. Audubon beats Pitman